Hello, my name is Austin, and this is Go Access, a YouTube channel dedicated to access in higher education and disability rights. Today, I will be kind of providing different articles about disability and kind of providing a weekly roundup for different articles that are out there. So the title for this segment is The Magic Gloves because the main article I want to talk about is a sign language to speech glove invented by Roy Alia from Kenya, who developed a glove that translates sign language into speech. The glove works by having 5 sensors on each finger, and it uses Bluetooth to connect to an Android app. The Android app translates the movement of the hand into speech. The glove looks like this, and it's just a prototype right now, but you can see it's pretty complex. So I think they would need to find a way to make the materials a little bit smaller and less delicate for it to go into mass production. But it is a very exciting development. Um, some background: Roy's niece was born deaf, and the family had a hard time communicating with her. So he kind of that led him to wanting to develop a glove to translate sign language to speech. Roy's team was honored by the American Society of Mechanical Engineers, and the invention, as I said, is currently a prototype. Next thing I want to talk about is the Echo Smartpen. The Echo Smartpen, I think its days are numbered. As I have here, a little joke, it had a built-in microphone, um, but it is might will eventually probably be usurped by the new aegir Smartpen. The new Aegir Smartpen does not have a built-in screen, which is kind of interesting because the Echo Smartpen does have that built-in screen, but that screen is known to burn out, especially if students forget to turn off the pen. The screen will die or get burning. So I think going with the Aegir with no screen is a smart idea. It does have a built-in microphone. The LiveScribe 2, the other smart pen they have, that's mainly for Android and iOS devices, that uses the cell phone's microphone. I think it's a lot easier in class to have a pen that has its own microphone because professors prefer not to have the student using their smartphone in class. So this one has its own built-in microphone, and it's compatible with iOS and Android. And it has a new Windows app that will be coming, which is pretty exciting. Although there is no Mac support currently, the Echo Smart Pen uses the Echo Desktop software, which does support Mac, but it hasn't really been updated in a very long time. But it is still compatible for right now. You can get 10 hours of battery life, and it is very lightweight. The other cool feature, which is the first time this has been offered, is it can translate handwritten notes to text. This means that you could take up to probably 22 languages, whatever you're writing in, it will take that and put it into text into like a Word document, which is pretty cool. Um, that would mean that you could have your notes read back to you pretty easily by transferring that text into a screen reader or speech to text, text to speech program, which is pretty awesome. So this is how it looks. The marlin and the dolphin are the two colors that it comes in, and I think it's a really exciting development. And I think it's also nice that it's a little bit lighter weight than the Echo Smart Pen. Currently, the rest of the lineup, I said LiveScribe 2. I think it's the Smart Pen 3 is the other one, which is connects to your Android or iOS phone and uses that microphone to record. But I think again the smartphone connecting and using that microphone isn't as handy as having a built-in one. And then there's the Echo Smart Pen that they have currently. Um, Transitioning to the Department of Education, I want to cover that earlier in 2018, the DOE said they would dismiss cases if the same person filed multiple claims of a similar nature. The OCR said they would dismiss if the complaint fit a pattern of allegations or placed an unreasonable burden on, the institution being, accused. This was going to lead to thousands of cases being dismissed. Because what happens is there's serial filers like Marcy Lipset who filed, I think, about around 1,000 cases of digital accessibility complaints. Her cases were going to be dropped because of this action, saying that the complaints fit a similar pattern, or the same person was filing multiple claims, they were going to be dropped. I felt like that was somewhat targeting her a little bit as far as what they were looking for. But now they've backpedaled, and they said the DOE says they will not dismiss cases just because the same person has filed multiple claims of a similar nature. And the OCR said they were removing language that allowed them to dismiss complaints that fit a pattern of allegations or placed an unreasonable burden on the agency. So this is kind of big news because it means the enforcement of accessibility, not just digital accessibility, but accessibility in general, is back, and that it is being supported, and that the laws are being you know reverted back to the way they were, so that there can be more cases filed if there's any issues, or people notice anything that's discriminating against people with disabilities. They have this recourse, and it's not being limited from the multiple claims or similar complaints. It does not matter now. So as I mentioned, Marcy Lipset, I just wanted to mention like her cases are being reopened. Um, the next thing I want to talk about is Barbie. Barbie is actually coming out with a new Barbie that has a physical disability, as you can see, which is pretty exciting. The Barbie will be creating dolls that use wheelchairs or prosthetic limbs. It will hopefully help fight the stigma surrounding disability. The dolls are going to be released later this fall. So I think that's a really nice step forward. And it really is great to see more, disability in the media, and in toys and things like that, and making it just a regular thing, and helping remove that stigma. The other thing I thought was interesting that's happening recently is the MLB and the disabled list. Players, when they got injured, would go to what was called the disabled list. I think it started since baseball, like the 1800s or early 1900s. So now they're changing it. They're saying that the disabled list is being changed to the injured list, which is much more accurate, because baseball players get injured, they're not permanently disabled. And it should help remove the stigma relating to disability and remove a negative connotation connected to disability. So now they're just injured, they're not disabled. I think that's a much better terminology for what's going on. And I'm really happy about that change. Um, the last thing I want to mention is there's new emojis coming out for people with disabilities. So they're going to be featuring these new emojis in iOS and Android when you're looking for smiley faces and different things talking to people, which is really cool. You can see some service dogs, and prosthetic limbs, a wheelchair, all sorts of things, hearing aid. So it's really great that they're being featured. And this comes from the Unicode Consortium, which Apple and Google are members of. And the emojis were requested by Apple last year, and now they're coming out. And the new emojis should help raise awareness about people with disabilities and help people become more inclusive. So that's kind of my weekly recap. I really appreciate you tuning in this Friday, and I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and thank you again. I'll see you in the next one.